The head can be the scariest part for somebody. I used to just be petrified. I love it. I love the head.
I think this
There's different ways of visualizing the head. I tend to visualize the head. Obviously, we've got the gray matter inside, spinal fluid. I'll be showing you the head through the eyes, working around the eyes. I'm going to show you the head working around the mouth, the nasal cavities. Now, my son had a massive infection through here. So the head really became an important feature in my work only to help my son. I did all this to help my son. I didn't do all this to meet you. My son was my only concern, and then, to present to the head, most people will immediately want to lift. I don't do that. Right now, again, I'm just touching her. It seems like I'm doing absolutely nothing. But this is going to be so light. I'm just going to see how she moves to the left. And I'm going to see how she moves to the right. And already I can feel that the head is heavier going to the right. And also, if you notice, her nose doesn't want to flag over to the right. It still wants to point to the ceiling. So her head's spinning around the nose. So to make that more obvious, this is going to the left. So see how her nose flags. You'll see this a lot in our kids, especially when they have vision issues. But see how now, because I've said something, her nose is flagged. But notice I'm not doing this. Ooh, can you move, this isn't a goal. I'm just trying to appreciate her movements versus trying to make her do something. That's just the clarity that I use. Now that I've done this in the head, okay, because most people turn from their back of their head versus turning through their head. So see when I turn my head, when I go through my head, versus if I turn from the back of my head. So I can turn all ways. So if I turn through my nose, I can go this way and keep my nose this way. I can do my Indian head shake now. I'm very good at that. But there's different ways of moving the head around and turning it. So now I'm going right below the mastoid process to C1. If you don't know what that is, when the head sort of divots into the neck area, find a spot that's comfortable. But there's a little, now, if a child has flat head and they're presenting, don't try and lift the head. I still want to see where it is. Now you'll see I'll start getting into larger examples. If the head's got microcephaly, then the head or flat head, you'll see that the nose actually, instead of pointing towards the ceiling, because the head will start tilting down, the nose and everything will start coming this way. That'll start affecting the vision because all their vision now is in this direction. Their hands are down there, and if they have poor hand control to the eyes, it's like they're missing, which is more omen, that kind of thing. And the same thing with the macro, and then again, where the vision is. Right now, a typical head in this placement should have the eyes in the horizon. If that's not, like if I was working with an adult or they're heavy or this, that, and the other, then I might start bringing up the head with the pillow. But right now, this works. So I'm going to go right into, like I said, approximately C1, the top of the neck. But since it's a ball and socket joint, I'm just seeing if the head rolls on the spine. So see how her head wants to tilt? The spine's not really twisting here in this position, but the head wants to tilt around it. Here, the spine wants to twist more through the neck. Can you see the difference? Again, because I'm saying this out loud, because she's a full grown, she'll start adjusting. But still, I'm just looking to see how that conversation is going. Because again, if the system's not neutral, her getting up to one side is going to be different than the other side, or she might avoid it. If I couldn't get her neck to present this way, she's intelligent too. She's not going to sit up this way. Can she? Yes. But she'll grunt, probably hold her back, hold her breath to do it, because it's going to require effort. This side, she would roll because that's the way her head's going. Now I'm going down again, now into the neck. Same thing, I'm just going to see. Now here, she really doesn't want to turn. To the left and to the right. Because again, I said before, she was turning through the neck, and you can really see it, it's quite apparent. See again, her acceleration's changing and all of that. The flow, the quality, whatever is your language to how you look at someone, just stick to it. If you think of a clever little word in Hindi, or if you're, you know what I mean? Like, and you're thinking of nature and the way trees, that's fine. So here, just turning her to the left, that's not happening.
Going up.
And to the right, she still has. So all I'm doing is going down her neck and seeing how the movement is. Now, I'm not going right to C7, which is where it goes into the base of the shoulder girdle. I'm still around probably 5 or 6. And again, the lower I go, I'm going to get less movement. I'm looking for the quality. Now here she can bend. She couldn't do it in the middle of her neck, but now she can do it in her lower neck. And then here, it's a little bit of a divot, so I actually have to go in, and then that's more difficult. And now I'll go to C7. Now I'll do 2 things with C7. I love this. I'm just going to lift her very slightly. When I say lift, I may be a finger's width. Feel the melt? There it goes.
I felt it.
Yeah. What I'm doing here is telling her brain, I'm going to hold your neck. You can let it go. So I'm just hanging out. I haven't moved my hands, so now I will. And I just drop. See already the shift in the whole face. I'll do it probably about 3 times. That way I'm like a Japanese florist. Something about the significance of 3.
I feel pulling in the front of my face, cheekbones.
Yeah. See how the chest cavity releases. These are just parlor tricks I use just so the chest cavity is not fighting me as much for the head changes. So I've done that about 3 times. Now I can go on and on. As you can see, look at how high her shoulder is on her right side versus her left. I mean, I can go down and continue to evaluate. Right now we're just going to concentrate with the head. Notice I have yet to even lift the head. And with that now I'm going to get to work. So I'm just cupping her head. And again, notice I'm not curling my fingers. Just think of it. It's just going to be like she's a vessel, a bowl, all of this. And I'm now going to just start moving her around. Just feel the quality of her movements, but see how I'm moving the head around her body. I'm not doing this. It won't even feel good. I'm just... Again, this is a very baby-like quality, just like I just did with that little munchkin. And let me tell you, especially for those of you who wear glasses, this is going to be a hard experience because even just the sensation of your glasses falling off the bridge of your nose is going to make you hold the brow of your head in a way that's very particular. This lesson too, if you suffer from headaches, you might suddenly go, oh my gosh, I haven't had a headache now in 2 weeks. But you can still see, I'm going to go right here underneath the mastoid process. I still can't lift her head. She's going into letting the jaw come forward, but I can't lift her head. That I'm going to be teaching you as a second. And just from that, I want you to just go to the right. Now here, that's all I'm doing. And I'm just, so here and here. I'm just going to go down her neck and just see. Oh, there we go. Again, these are different movements than she's used to. And then I'll just go back. Did her head get any nicer? But see how nice now the nose is going from side to side. Now this is just our initial move that we just did. And if a language is more, she can now rotate 50 degrees more to the right, her acceleration's improved. I mean, there's notable changes that you can change. But I didn't stretch her, I didn't loosen her, I didn't do anything. I just am touching her in a way that she's reacting to me, just like the baby. And she enjoys it. I probably could sit here with her all day and just do this, just to appreciate. I'm not judging her. Look at that, see? This is swimming, this is running. Look at how, this is a very neutral quality of the head. Now, don't go and shake someone's head right off the bat. You don't know if they have motion sickness or any of those kind of issues. And now feel, I'm just going to go back to C7. See now how she can present her whole spine to that. she's standing on her feet. Do you see that right there? See how you stand on your feet? You're rotating over to the foot and coming back off. Shifting through the pelvis and the sit bone and coming back off. See, without the use of gravity, I can change her system and her foundations and the way she's presenting herself. So when she does stand up, that's when the changes happen, and all of a sudden her muscles go, damn, I don't have to work that hard. I can just float over my feet. And if they don't, then I need a little bit more work. And now I can just, if I want to go, now see, this would be a whole nother conversation. Well, okay, you thought shoulders, but I'm already thinking I have to, no, I have to bend her spine. Her spine's not bending. See how the movement has no place to go? Just because you touch something, it doesn't mean X marks a spot. Yes, I could sit there with the shoulders, but that's where you're going to limit yourself. If you think that just because you touch something and it doesn't move properly, that where is that movement not going? That's how I look at CP, that's how I look at hypotonia, whatever. It's not what they're doing wrong. If I want a movement to happen, am I not, what do I have to do to facilitate it that it just, they can move in and out of that position? And I just go back. Now you can see where it's getting a little jerky. And I would, again, that would be another conversation, but again, that's the bend of the spine. Yes, if I tilt your pelvis and it's a system. But this is all I want you to do, guys. This is all, just to appreciate the movement of the head. It's not about right or wrong, and it's not about a lift. The lift is gonna be the next demonstration. Because most people too are gonna do this and go into a lift versus lifting up the head. So, how's that? Is there any questions?
What about kids with seizures? Do we need to be careful when you're moving their head? Or is it?
Yes and no. It all depends on the seizures. If the child has a seizures 1 in 10 years and they suddenly seize on my table, I'll back off. They have seizures all the time. I look at it like asthma and everything else. They have to learn not to seize. I'll appreciate it. If it's a grandma, obviously I might back off. I'm not going to say go into sitting while but especially when they're holding their breath. But if they're